I'm a 32-year-old guy, single, no kids, work remotely in tech. Kind of the quiet type, dependable, the guy people call when they need help moving, fixing something, or watching pets last minute.
You know the type.
My family has always leaned on me. I didn't think much of it. I figured that's just what you do for family. I'd help out. They'd say thanks and life would go on. Well, this past Christmas, they showed me exactly where I stood. 2 weeks before the holidays, we're having our usual Sunday dinner at my parents' place. Nothing out of the ordinary. My younger brother and his wife are there. My sister, her husband, and their 2 kids show up late. My parents are pouring wine, making small talk. Then my sister, out of nowhere, goes, "We still need to coordinate airport pickups for the Bahamas." I paused. What Bahamas trip? Silence. You could literally hear forks drop. My mom looked like she swallowed a lemon. My brother stopped chewing. My dad goes, "We were going to tell you." Tell me what? That my entire family planned a 10-day Christmas trip to the Bahamas without me? Yup.
That.
Parents, siblings, their spouses, their kids. All of them were going. And me? Not even an afterthought. My sister tried to brush it off like it was nothing. We didn't think it'd be your vibe. Son, kids, chaos. Plus, someone needs to watch the dogs. That's when it hit me. They did think of me.
Just not as family.
As the dog sitter. Between my parents' 2 Goldens, my sister's anxious mutt, and my brother's giant Great Dane, they needed someone to stay behind and take care of their furry crew. And they just assumed I'd do it. For free. Over Christmas.
I didn't yell.
I didn't argue. I just stood up and left. Nobody followed me out. I went home and started thinking back. The times I helped my brother move, the last-minute babysitting for my sister, the $3,000 I gave my dad to fix his roof that never came back, the birthdays I planned, the events I showed up for. Always showing up. Never once treated like a priority. So, I decided I wasn't going to be their backup plan anymore. The next morning, I opened my laptop and booked the trip I'd been dreaming about for years, Greece. Athens, Santorini, Mykonos, even a couple nights in Crete. First-class flights, sea view hotels, the works. Same exact dates as their trip. Then, 2 days before they were supposed to leave, I sent a group text. Just a heads up, I won't be available to watch the dogs over Christmas. I'll be out of the country. Enjoy your trip. The reaction was instant. My mom blew up the group chat. What? Are you serious? Sister. This is really selfish. We're leaving in 2 days. Brother. You couldn't have told us earlier? Real classy. Didn't reply. Put my phone on Do Not Disturb and kept packing. Then came the guilt campaign. My dad showed up at my door that afternoon, demanding I explain myself. Said they made plans and I was backing out. I told him flat out. You all excluded me. You planned it without me and just assumed I'd stay behind and take care of everything. That's not making plans. That's using someone. He tried guilt-tripping me about how my sister was crying and my mom was stressed. I said that wasn't my problem anymore. Then things got dirty. A few hours later, I got an email from a local animal shelter. Someone had anonymously reported that a group of dogs were about to be left unattended during the holidays. The shelter was checking in. Nice try. I emailed them back with my Greece itinerary, screenshots of the group chat, and explained that I had no responsibility or agreement to care for the animals. Even looped in my landlord to confirm none of the dogs were on my lease. That wasn't all. Later that night, my brother Venmo'd me a request for $640. Label: Emergency boarding deposit. I declined it with the note: Try a kennel next time. The best part? All the kennels were booked. Every sitter in town was gone for the holidays. They were scrambling. I was on a plane to Athens the next morning with a cocktail in hand while they were probably speed-dialing Craigslist sitters and bribing neighbors. Greece was incredible. I didn't check my phone for days. The food, the views, the people, best trip of my life. But halfway through, I made the mistake of checking my email. Legal notice. Apparently, my brother's wife, who works as a paralegal, filed a small claims case against me for emotional distress and causing financial burden. They really thought they could intimidate me. I called a real lawyer. She looked at the claim and said, "This is garbage. You never agreed to anything, and they have no case." We sent back a cease and desist letter and added a clause about harassment. That shut them up. I got back home in early January and found out they'd left the dogs with my parents' elderly neighbor, a sweet old lady in her 80s with 2 cats and bad knees. My apartment was trashed. Apparently, one of them, I'm guessing the Great Dane, managed to get inside before I left and wrecked the place. Couch cushions ripped, door scratched up, wood floor soaked in dog pee. Even chewed part of my coffee table. My landlord gave me a formal warning for pet damage and said another complaint meant eviction. So I sent a message to the whole family. Total damage, $2,117. Receipts attached. I expect payment within 7 days. They lost it. My dad called it disrespectful. My sister said I was tearing the family apart over furniture. My brother sent another laughing emoji. I wasn't bluffing. I got legal help again. Sent a formal demand letter with every receipt, photo, and text message attached. They paid. Full amount. Split unevenly between them. Guess they had another little family meeting and realized I wasn't joking. But the real revenge? That came later. My sister's husband works in real estate. Big networking guy. Loves to talk about high net worth clients and brag about his contacts. Turns out he'd been name-dropping me to one of his clients, saying I was a close business contact in tech, trying to boost his credibility. What he didn't know, that client and I had mutuals. I reached out privately, told them we weren't in business together, and I didn't endorse anything he did. Deal fell through. Big commission?
Gone.
I didn't have to lie or do anything shady. Just told the truth. A few weeks later, they tried one last play, invited me to a family dinner to clear the air. I went,
Just to see what they'd say.
My mom tried to smooth things over with, "We should have just hired a sitter." My sister gave me a fake smile and said we'd all overreacted. Then my brother goes, "But you really went nuclear. You sued your own family." I leaned forward and said, "I invoiced you for property damage and got legal help after you filed a claim against me. That's not nuclear. That's consequences." Then I slid a folder across the table. Inside, everything. The damage receipts, the texts, the fake legal claim, and an email from the real estate client stating why they pulled out of the deal because of false claims made by my sister's husband. I said, "This isn't about dogs. It's about respect. And I'm done pretending that you've shown me any." Then I left. Haven't heard much from them since. A few soft attempts to rope me back in. But no real apologies. No accountability. Just guilt and silence. And I'm good with that. Sometimes, peace looks like getting disinvited from things that never respected you in the first place.
So yeah,
If your family treats you like a convenience, maybe it's time to book your own trip and let them figure it out. Subscribe my channel.